here's a fascinating fact that will completely transform your perspective on aging. Okinawa, Japan, boasts the highest number of centenarians per capita anywhere in the world. What's truly astounding is not just their longevity, but their quality of life. They aren't merely living longer, they're actively thriving. These elderly individuals climb stairs unaided, garden on their knees, and stand up effortlessly, and walk several miles every day without the need for canes or walkers. Contrast this with Western countries, where nearly 40% of adults over 65 struggle to stand up from a chair without using their arms. So, what's their secret? The answer lies in 6 specific exercises passed down through generations in Japan, backed by compelling scientific research. A groundbreaking study published in the Journal of Geriatric Physical Therapy tracked over 3,000 Japanese adults, aged 60 to 85, and found that those who regularly performed traditional Japanese leg strengthening exercises increased their lower limb muscle strength by an incredible 112% within 18 months, more than doubling their original strength. Even more impressively, they lowered their risk of falls by 67% compared to those who didn't exercise. Another study from Tokyo Metropolitan University explored why Japanese seniors maintain mobility far longer than Western seniors, revealing that these traditional exercises activate deep stabilizing leg muscles, responsible for balance and functional movement, unlike typical Western workouts that focus mainly on visible surface muscles. What makes this even more remarkable is that these exercises require no gym memberships or expensive equipment, take less than 10 minutes per day, and can be done in the comfort of your living room, even while watching TV. Although these movements have been part of Japanese culture for centuries, Western science is only now beginning to appreciate their profound benefits. Today, I'll share all 6 exercises with you, ranked from helpful to absolutely essential. But I must highlight the most important one right away, because the research behind it is extraordinary. A clinical trial from Kyoto University showed that seniors who practiced this single exercise for just 8 weeks boosted their quadriceps strength by 89% and improved their balance scores by over 70%, with many participants going from barely able to walk across a room to climbing stairs independently by the end of the study. This exercise is so effective that Japanese physical therapists regard it as the gold standard for elderly rehabilitation. Stick around until the end, because the most powerful movement is saved for last, and it could truly change your life. Please share your age and where you're watching from in the comments. We read and respond to every single one. Now, let's begin with exercise number 6, and work our way up to the most important. The 6th exercise is called kakado age, or heel raises with wall support. This movement is done countless times daily by elderly Japanese people, often without them even realizing it's exercise. You'll notice grandmothers doing it while cooking, and elderly men performing it while waiting for the train. It's so deeply ingrained in the culture that it happens almost automatically. This simple movement plays a crucial role in maintaining leg strength after 60, and here's why it matters so much. Your calf muscles are often referred to as your second heart, a well-established medical fact due to their crucial role in pumping blood from your lower legs back up to your heart, effectively supporting circulation and preventing blood pooling in the extremities, which can lead to discomfort and serious vascular issues. This function is especially important because the calf muscles act as a natural pump, contracting rhythmically and squeezing the veins to push blood upward against gravity, particularly when you are standing or walking. However, as you age, these muscles tend to weaken progressively, which can lead to poorer circulation and muscle atrophy, a degenerative cycle that accelerates the aging process of your legs, increasing the risk of varicose veins, swelling, reduced mobility, and even chronic venous insufficiency. Recognizing this, a comprehensive University of Tokyo study involving 240 adults aged 65 and older demonstrated that participants who engaged in daily heel raise exercises consistently over a 12-week period experienced remarkable improvements. Calf muscle strength increased by 34%, ankle stability improved by 28%, and walking speed enhanced by 19%. These gains are significant because faster walking speed is strongly correlated with a longer lifespan and is now considered a sixth vital sign, indicative of overall health, functional independence, and reduced risk of falls in older adults. The heel raise exercise itself is straightforward yet highly effective. Standing upright with your palms resting gently on a wall for balance, and your feet placed hip-width apart, you rise slowly onto your toes. Hold the elevated position for 2 to 3 seconds to maximize muscle engagement, and then lower your heels slowly back down. The emphasis on a slow descent is critical, as eccentric muscle contractions during the lowering phase produce greater muscle strengthening benefits than the concentric rise, helping to build resilience and endurance in the calf muscles. For optimal results, it is recommended to perform 20 repetitions of this exercise 3 times daily. Once in the morning to stimulate circulation after a night's rest, once during midday to counteract the negative effects of prolonged sitting, and once in the evening before bed to support muscle recovery and relaxation. Further enhancing the effectiveness, research from Osaka University suggests that performing heel raises on a slightly elevated surface, such as a low step or block, increases muscle activation by 23%, while maintaining a firm grip on a sturdy object ensures balance, safety, and confidence during the exercise, reducing the risk of falls. Alongside heel raises, another valuable exercise for leg stability and strength is the sumo stance hip circles, known in Japanese as moashi, which derives from traditional sumo wrestler training methods and has gained popularity in senior fitness routines in Japan. This exercise targets the hips and inner thighs, areas critical for maintaining leg stability, since the hips serve as the primary support structure for the lower body and provide the essential connection between the legs and torso. According to a study published in the Journal of Physical Therapy Science, participants who incorporated the sumo stance hip circles into their routine for 10 weeks showed a 41% improvement in hip stability and a 37% increase in inner thigh strength, outperforming those who performed conventional Western-style leg workouts. Together, these exercises form a comprehensive approach to preserving and enhancing leg function, promoting better circulation, muscular strength, and overall mobility as you age. Even more importantly, this group reported experiencing significantly less knee pain, which makes perfect sense because stronger hips help reduce the pressure placed on the knees. To perform this exercise, start by standing with your feet much wider than shoulder width apart, and turn your toes outward at about a 45-degree angle. This is the classic sumo stance. Next, bend your knees slightly and rest your hands on your thighs for support. From this position, you will make slow, controlled circles with your hips, imagining that you are stirring a giant pot of soup with your pelvis. Complete 10 circles in one direction, then reverse and make 10 circles in the opposite direction. The key to maximizing the benefits is to keep the movement slow and deliberate. Many people tend to rush through this exercise, but the Japanese approach emphasizes mindfulness and intentional motion. Each circle should take approximately 3 to 4 seconds, and you should feel the muscles in your inner thighs, outer thighs, and deep hip area working together. If you feel any pinching or sharp pain, reduce the size of your circles. Japanese seniors typically perform this exercise in the morning as part of their daily routine, and research from Goa University found that doing hip mobility exercises first thing in the morning increased hip range of motion by 15% throughout the day, which translated to easier walking, smoother stair climbing, and reduced lower back pain. Now, moving on to the next exercise, which might surprise you: seated leg extensions with ankle weights. The fourth exercise is known as seriashi, which roughly translates to sitting leg. This movement has been practiced in Japanese rehabilitation centers for decades, and recent research has confirmed what therapists have long observed, that it is remarkably effective at strengthening the quadriceps without putting undue stress on the knee joints. The quadriceps are the 4 muscles located at the front of your thigh, and they are essential for activities like climbing stairs, getting out of chairs, and maintaining balance while walking. Unfortunately, these muscles tend to lose strength faster than most other muscle groups after age 60, with studies showing that adults lose about 3 to 5% of their quadriceps strength annually after this age, unless they actively work to maintain it. A clinical trial conducted at Hokkaido University followed 180 older adults over 6 months. Half performed seated leg extensions 3 times per week, while the other half continued with their usual activities. The exercise group increased their quadriceps strength by an impressive 53%, improved their ability to rise from a chair by 44%, and most notably enhanced their stair climbing speed by 39%. These improvements are life-changing and have a direct impact on daily independence. To perform the exercise correctly, sit in a sturdy chair with your back supported and feet flat on the floor, knees bent at roughly 90 degrees. Slowly straighten one leg out in front of you until it is parallel to the floor. Hold for 2 seconds, then slowly lower it back down. Repeat with the other leg, and that counts as 1 repetition. Japanese physical therapists recommend starting with 10 repetitions on each leg and gradually working up to 20. Once you can comfortably complete 20 repetitions, you can add light ankle weights to increase the challenge. A study from Cove University found that adding just 1 kilogram, about 2 pounds, of weight to each ankle increased muscle activation by 31% compared to the unweighted version. The timing of this exercise also matters. Research indicates that performing leg strengthening exercises in the afternoon, between 2 and 5 p.m., results in slightly better strength gains than doing them in the morning, likely because of natural fluctuations in hormone levels and body temperature throughout the day. The next exercise takes a different approach to building leg strength and is called modified deep squatting, or shagamu, meaning to crouch or squat. This practice, while often misunderstood in Western countries, where medical professionals frequently advise older adults to avoid squatting due to concerns about joint strain and potential injury, has a rich cultural and scientific backing in Japan, where it is embraced as a vital component of lifelong musculoskeletal health. In Japan, deep squatting is not just an exercise, but an integral part of everyday life, seamlessly incorporated into routine activities such as using traditional squat toilets, tending to gardens, engaging in household chores, and even picking up grandchildren. This habitual movement pattern plays a crucial role in maintaining the flexibility, strength, and health of the muscles, tendons, and joints in the lower body. The continuous natural use of deep squatting throughout life helps to preserve mobility and stave off the typical age-related decline in physical function that is commonly seen in Western populations. Contrastingly, Western lifestyles, which heavily favor chairs, sofas, and elevated seating arrangements, have largely eliminated squatting from daily routines, leading to diminished leg strength, reduced flexibility, and increased joint stiffness among older adults. Supporting this cultural observation, a landmark study conducted by the National Institute of Health and Nutrition in Tokyo compared elderly Japanese individuals who regularly practice deep squatting with their Western counterparts who generally avoid the posture. The results were striking. The Japanese participants demonstrated 68% greater leg strength, 45% better balance, and nearly double the hip flexibility of the Western group. These findings directly challenge the prevalent Western medical opinion that squatting is inherently risky for older adults, and instead highlight the profound importance of maintaining this posture for the preservation of musculoskeletal health and functional independence. To safely incorporate the benefits of deep squatting without risking joint strain, practitioners are advised to perform a modified version of the squat. Begin standing with feet shoulder-width apart, near a sturdy surface for balance support. Lightly grasp the surface and slowly lower the body by bending the knees and pushing the hips back only as far as is comfortable and pain-free. Hold this lowered position for approximately 3 seconds to engage muscles and tendons. Then rise smoothly by pushing through the heels to activate the leg muscles effectively. Japanese health experts recommend starting with 5 repetitions per session, gradually increasing the number by 1 each week, until reaching a total of 15 repetitions, allowing sufficient time for joints and muscles to adapt and strengthen safely. Further research from Tsukuba University reinforces these recommendations, demonstrating that the consistency and frequency of squatting exercises are more critical than the depth of each squat. Daily shallow squats performed regularly showed greater improvements in leg strength compared to deeper squats done less frequently. This evidence underscores an important principle in exercise and rehabilitation. Small, manageable movements performed consistently over time can yield substantial and lasting health benefits, making modified deep squatting an accessible and effective practice for individuals seeking to maintain or improve lower body strength and mobility as they age. Maintaining your freedom and quality of life is the essence of this exercise. To practice it the Japanese way, begin by standing near a wall or sturdy piece of furniture for safety. Shift your weight onto one foot and gently lift the other foot just an inch or two off the ground. There's no need to raise it high. The objective is to hold your balance for as long as possible. Initially, this may only be a few seconds, but with consistent practice, you can gradually extend this to 30 seconds or even a minute on each leg. Japanese seniors often incorporate this exercise into daily routines, such as while brushing their teeth or waiting for water to boil. Research from Chiba University revealed that breaking practice into multiple short sessions throughout the day is more effective than one longer session. Specifically, participants who practiced 3 times daily for 30 seconds each showed greater improvement than those who practiced once daily for 90 seconds. To progressively increase the challenge, try closing your eyes while standing on one leg. A study from Kyushu University found that practicing balance with eyes closed increased muscle activation by 58% compared to keeping eyes open. Since your visual system provides about 70% of your balance information, removing this input forces your leg muscles to work much harder. Now, moving on to the most important exercise of all, known as Tachi Suari, the stand and sit movement. This is the #1 exercise Japanese seniors use to build remarkable leg strength. This movement has been studied more extensively than any other elderly leg strengthening exercise, yielding extraordinary results. Recalling the Kyoto University study mentioned earlier, researchers recruited 120 adults aged 65 to 85 with significant leg weakness. Half of the group practiced Tachi Suari daily for 8 weeks, while the other half received standard care. The Tachi Suari group increased quadriceps strength by 89%, hamstring strength by 76%, and balance scores by 71%. Most remarkably, 12 participants who initially required walkers were walking independently by the end of the study. This was not due to medication or surgery, but simply the repeated act of standing up and sitting down. Why is this movement so effective? Standing up from a seated position requires generating enough force with your leg muscles to lift your entire body weight against gravity. Essentially a bodyweight squat with a significant advantage. The chair provides a clear target and safety net. If balance is lost, you can simply sit back down, offering a psychological safety that encourages older adults to push themselves harder than with freestanding squats. A follow-up study by the same research team explored why this exercise is so powerful and found that it activates not only the major leg muscles, but also the deep stabilizing muscles around the hips and knees, which are often overlooked in traditional exercise programs, but are vital for maintaining functional independence. To perform Tachi Suari correctly, sit in a sturdy armless chair with your feet flat on the floor about hip width apart. Cross your arms over your chest, lean slightly forward from your hips, and push through your feet to stand without using your hands. Pause briefly at the top, then slowly lower yourself back into the chair. The lowering phase is as important as the standing phase. Research from Keio University showed that emphasizing controlled descent increased muscle strength gains by an additional 24%. The key variables to focus on are speed and volume, ensuring you perform the movement deliberately and repeatedly for maximum benefit. Japanese rehabilitation guidelines recommend starting with 10 slow repetitions of standing and sitting exercises, taking about 3 seconds to stand and 3 to sit, to engage leg muscles safely and build foundational strength. Perform this routine twice daily, morning and evening, to ensure consistent activation and gradual adaptation without fatigue. Increase repetitions by 2 each week until reaching 30 per session, allowing muscles to adapt steadily and reducing injury risk. Research from Junendo University shows that 30 repetitions twice daily maximize leg strength and balance, with more reps offering no added benefit and potentially causing fatigue. Once 30 reps are easy, increase difficulty by holding light weights or using a lower chair, which Osaka Medical College found boosts muscle activation by 33%, but only after mastering 30 reps on a standard chair to avoid strain. Tokai University research suggests performing these exercises right after waking maximizes daily functional improvement by activating muscles early. These routines, rooted in Japanese senior wisdom, can maintain or even double leg strength after 60, enhancing independence and quality of life. They require no special equipment and suit all fitness levels. Japan's National Center for Geriatrics and Gerontology reports these 6 exercises take 18 minutes daily, potentially doubling leg strength, reducing fall risk by over 60%, and extending independence. Start with the 6th exercise tomorrow. Master it for a week, then add the 5th, gradually progressing to all 6 for a comprehensive program. Your future self will thank you. Which exercise will you try first? If you already practice these, share how long it took to see improvements or your stories overcoming leg weakness or balance issues after 60. We love hearing how these exercises impact lives. Consistency is key when incorporating these exercises into your daily routine. Remember to listen to your body and avoid overexertion, especially if you experience any discomfort or pain. Combining these movements with proper nutrition and hydration will further support muscle recovery and growth. Celebrate small victories along the way, as incremental progress leads to lasting strength and stability. Together, these habits foster a healthier, more active lifestyle well into your later years.